Welcome back to the online sessions on signals and systems. In the previous class, we have ended up with the expression of the exponential Fourier series. And we solved one problem when the problem is given with the double-sided spectrum. Okay. So when nothing is asked in the exam to find out the Fourier series, you can as well represent the Fourier series in terms of the exponential Fourier series for a double-sided spectrum. It is going to solve the problem in a quicker time period. So therefore, one more variety of the Fourier series representation is going to be the exponential Fourier series. It normally comes under the weak Fourier series, weak Dirichlet conditions. So we discuss about what is Dirichlet conditions after we complete about this particular Fourier series. That is what the conclusion of the Fourier series. We normally going to conclude the Fourier series with the Dirichlet conditions. Okay. So now we'll try to discuss about how we normally going to represent this. That means x of t is normally represented with the coefficient of the function, and which is normally going to be the coefficient of the exponential signal. Now what do you mean by the exponential signal? With respect to j omega naught t, various harmonic signals are going to be there. That means the entire j quadrant, that means the entire y quadrant of the spectrum is normally being considered. That means in terms of a spectrum, if we consider a spectrum, what is that we can have? This top portion, the entire portion on the y axis is normally going to be a spectrum. So this is positive y axis. Now the signal is represented on the positive y axis. There is one more side is going to be negative y axis, right? So that means when you normally going to multiply this with the exponential signal, we get the entire part of the signal. So therefore, we usually going to multiply the signal with the exponential component. So if you consider the exponential component, what is the meaning of it? The meaning of considering exponential component is that we'll be considering all the components of the signal along the y-axis. So that is what the basic meaning of the exponential component. So therefore here we are representing the signal which is in the exponential form by simply writing it as Cn into e to the power jn omega naught t, which indicates the signal x of t is represented in terms of the exponential component, where Cn is nothing but coefficient of the component. So in the earlier discussion we discussed about x of t is equal to a naught plus sigma of an cos n omega naught t plus sigma of bn sin n omega naught t. So there we are represented with three different terms. Here we are representing only with a single term. That is what the compression we normally going to achieve in the case of this particular thing, where the Cn, which is nothing but coefficient of this exponential Fourier transform exponential notation, is represented as what now? 1 by t naught integral of x of t e power minus j n omega naught t dt. That is the representation we can have for Cn. Now in the exam, until now, as it is going to be the first time for you, so if at all any question is asked to explain about the exponential Fourier series, then you can just go and attempt this particular kind of a derivation for this particular expression that we are going to explain it just now. Okay. Well, now what is that we have represented x of t in terms of exponential Fourier series as x of t is equal to sigma of Cn e to the power j n omega naught t, where n is going to extend from minus infinity to plus infinity. So whenever we consider a spectrum means what? It is going to extend from minus infinity to 0 and 0 to plus infinity. So that the entire spectrum I can consider it from negative part of the axis to the positive part of the axis, which is going to take all the values under consideration. Therefore, I can write this as minus infinity to plus infinity. Now we are trying to find out the expression for Cn now in this particular derivation. So this is the general representation of the Fourier series in the exponential form. Okay. So directly this equation we have written by using the concept. So therefore you should remember this particular equation. Then later on derivation, other expression for Cn also you have to remember for the exam to explain about the exponential Fourier series or to do problem on the exponential Fourier series. Okay. Now here we are going towards finding out the expression for Cn now. So therefore x of t is equal to what I can expand this as? X of t is equal to C naught plus C1 into e power j omega naught t plus C2 into e power j 2 omega naught t plus so on up to. Now that means if n is equal to 0, I can substitute Cn as C0. What is this? N is equal to 0 means e power 0 is nothing but equal to 1. So therefore I will be having C0 component. If n is equal to 1, then it's going to be n is equal to 1. So I can write C1 e power j omega naught t. If n is equal to 2, now similarly I can just simply repeat this process. If n is equal to, I can write this as C2 into e power j 2 omega naught t plus so on up to n number of terms. So I can write this as Cn e to the power j n omega naught t. Now other part is going to be the negative part of the spectrum, where if I take n is equal to minus 1, n is going to take minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, so on up to minus n. So therefore I can take this n is equal to minus 1, then I can just simply substitute n is equal to minus 1 here as well. So I can write this as c minus 1 of e power minus j omega naught t plus c minus 2 e power j 2 omega naught t plus so on up to c minus n e power j n omega naught t. So here for coefficient for Cn, we are getting the term in terms of e power minus j n omega naught t. So therefore, we are simply multiplying on the both sides, RHS as well as LHS side, and we simultaneously perform the operation called integration. Integration on the integration on both sides in the interval of 0 to t. So simply multiply and integrate with respect to multiply with e power minus j omega naught and integrate with respect to time period t. So therefore on x-axis what is that I have now? I have x of t on the LHS side. So this x of t I'm simply multiplying with e power minus j n omega naught t and I'm integrating here. That means integral of dt over a time interval of 0 to t. So therefore I can just simply write this as something like, now we'll expand this now. For every term now I simply do the same process on the RHS side as well. So therefore integral of 0 to t c naught e power minus j n omega naught t dt plus integral of 0 to t c1 e power j omega naught t into e power minus j n omega naught t plus c2 into e power j 2 omega naught t. That means I'm simply multiplying this with e power minus j n omega naught t and also integrating. Plus so on up to all these factors I simply going to implement similarly. Now after this I have to solve for this particular integration. Now don't get frightened by don't get bogged up or frightened by seeing such an equation. It's going to be very simple integration we're going to have, and we're not going to solve all the terms because we have infinite number of terms. We don't solve for all terms, we solve only for 3 to 4 terms to get into the final solution for Cn. So first of all we solve for the RHS, that means this part RHS. So in the first part I have, what is it I have? Integral of C naught e power minus j n omega naught t dt. So we'll try to solve for this. C naught is a constant, we'll take it outside. So integral of e power minus j n omega naught t is equal to what? E power minus j n omega naught t by minus j n omega naught over the interval 0 to t as the limits. Now once you apply the limits as 0 to t, simply substitute small t is equal to capital T here. Okay, and this minus j n omega naught t is a constant, we'll take it outside. Therefore, I can just simply write down the equation as e power minus j n omega naught t, n omega naught capital T minus 1. All right. So now let us substitute the parameters now. What is t? Time period t is equal to, we know it is going to be 2 pi by omega naught from the basic relationship of the fundamental frequency and a time period. Okay. So we should get actually t here. T is nothing but what now? 2 pi. What I can write this as omega naught as 2 pi f naught. 2 pi will get cancelled. I'll get simply 1 by f naught. 1 by f naught is nothing but equal to t. So we have simply got the appropriate relationship for this. So therefore I can substitute t is equal to 2 pi by omega naught. So here omega naught will get cancelled. So once these two get cancelled, I have a form like e power j theta. Now I have e power minus j 2 pi n. Okay. So therefore I can write it is in the form of e power minus j theta. We already know the expansion of this cos theta minus j sin theta using the Taylor series. Then I can simply write down this as e power minus j 2 pi. We'll expand this based on this particular formula. Now what is sine 2 pi? Now we'll be solving it for n number of values. N is going to take 1, 2, 3, whatever it is. So, but ultimately we have 2 pi here. So since it is 2 pi, so sine 2 pi will be equal to 0. What is cos 2 pi? Cos 2 pi is nothing but 1. Cos 0 is 1. Cos 2 pi is equal to 1. So therefore I will be having 1 here. So therefore the resultant value for this e power minus j 2 pi n is nothing but equal to 1. So minus 1 over here I have 1 will get cancelled. I'll simply going to get the 0 term. So similarly I'll go with the first term in this particular exponential expression. Now this term integration of c naught is a component for the DC component. It's going to be the term for the DC component. The next term we are going to have the fundamental frequency component. So let us look into the fundamental frequency component multiplied with the exponential signal as e power minus j omega naught Tn. Okay. So now what I can write this as now? So this is, if I take j omega naught t as common, I can have 1 minus n here into dt. Now same integration formula we use. E power something is going to be e power something by that particular something over here. So I can write this because I'm going with respect to time. So on the denominator, I'll be having 1 minus n j omega, that's all, over the interval 0 to time period t. So simply substitute the upper limit and lower limit to solve for this. If you substitute lower limit, we get what? E power t is 0. So e power 0 is nothing but 1. So I can write this as 1. And next, when I simply substitute here for the upper limit, then we can write this as e power 1 minus n j omega. What is t? 2 pi by omega naught. So omega naught same as the previous condition. These two will get cancelled. I left over with e to the power 1 minus n j 2 pi minus 1. Now once again it is something like in the same formula. If you see observe here, e power 2 pi j all this particular factor. Okay, so that means it is in the form of same something like e power j theta is cos theta plus j sin theta. Now we'll expand that in that particular form. Once you expand cos 2 pi of 1 minus n plus j sin 2 pi of 2 pi of 1 minus n, I can write and minus 1 here as it is. Okay. Now what is this term? Cos 2 pi. Cos 2 pi is equal to 1. So I'll substitute here as 1. What is sin 2 pi? Sin 2 pi is 0. So therefore I'll put here 0. Then minus 1. So this plus 1 minus 1 will cancel. I'll be getting simply 0. Now if you simply solve for other parameters, other terms like C2, C3, C4, C6, all these terms will turn out to be zeros because one term is simply 0. Fundamental component is 0. Then all the harmonics. What is harmonic? Simply the frequencies component, the frequency components which are multiples, integer multiples of the fundamental frequency are known as the harmonic frequencies. So obviously all the harmonic components are also going to be 0 because it has become equal to 0. So therefore we straight away go to the another part of the equation. So in this equation we have got the expansion. Now we expanded just now here as integration of all. Now we have just simply found out that the harmonic components are coming as 0. Therefore all these harmonic components I simply skip. Harmonic components, what are the harmonic components? C1 for the term C1 when we represent it by using C1 term, C2 term. So all these are harmonic components. That means something like 1 omega naught, 2 omega naught, 3 omega naught. All these are the harmonic components. This is simply neglected because just now we got 0. And similarly here also we have harmonic component that is going to be something like 2 omega naught, 3 omega naught, 4 omega naught, all these are harmonics. That is also going to get become equal to 0. So straight away I consider them, all of them equal to 0 because of this particular result. So by seeing this result, I can say that the harmonic components for harmonic components of various coefficients are also become equal to 0. Let us go with the last harmonic, nth harmonic component. When you normally go with the nth harmonic component, what is that you're going to have? C of my now last one, that is going to be C of minus n e power minus j n omega naught t into e to the power minus j n omega naught t. So it is going to be something like 1 plus 1 kind of thing. So 2. So e power minus 2 e power minus j 2 omega naught nt. I can just simply write here d to dt. Now simple integration now, e power minus x kind of integration now. So therefore I can have this as something like e power x e power xt kind of form. If it is going to be e power minus xt, I'll be writing here as e power minus xt by minus x. Similar to that, we can expand this over the limit 0 to t pi, 0 to t if we apply. Simply same as the previous one, this t is replaced with 2 pi by omega naught. Same thing is normally going to come. So we'll be simply reaching out over here, up to here. Now here also once again we have the form like e power minus j theta form. So it's going to be cos theta minus j sin theta as usual as the previous condition. So I can write this as cos 4 pi n minus j sin 4 pi n minus 1. So cos 2 pi, cos 4 pi, all these are 1. Sin 2 pi, sin 4 pi, sin 6 pi, all these are zeros. Therefore, I can replace this as 0, minus 1. So therefore, 1, 1 will get cancelled. 1 and minus 1 is going to get cancelled. I will be getting 0. So the final last harmonic in the series is also equal to 0. So let us go with the last harmonic for the positive coefficient, that is Cn coefficient. Last harmonic of the positive coefficient. So I can write this as Cn e power j n omega naught t into e power minus j n omega naught t. So I have something like here e power jx into e power minus jx. So these two will get cancelled simply because whenever you have a term in the exponent, we simply add up the exponential terms. Okay, something like e power a into e power b. I can write this as result as e power a plus b. Similarly, when you add up these two will get cancelled. I left over with the simply integration of c and dt. So here dt is missing. So dt has to be there here. So into dt. So therefore, cn is a constant. Take it outside. Integration of 1 dt is t. Over the limits, we apply 0 to t. So cn into t minus 0. I can just simply write. So finally, I can have cn into t. So this is what the expression I normally going to have. Now, what is the result that we have got? That is important. So the result is something like we have simply got all these values as 0. Integration of c1 into this parameter as 0. Integration of c2 into this harmonic multiplication of the exponential series is 0. Integration c3 is also 0. Similarly, integration of c minus n minus c minus 1 minus 2 minus 3 minus 4 so on up to minus n is also has turned up into 0 for us. So therefore, by just simply putting all of them as zeros, finally, what I can have now, I can just simply have on the LHS side, what is that I have? I have this particular equation, integral of x of t. We have multiplied this x of t with e power minus j n omega naught t and we integrated with respect to time t. So therefore, I can just have this. Okay, on the right hand side, what I have computed as Cn into t. So therefore, what is Cn now? Cn becomes equal to simply 1 by t. This t will come over here. So 1 by t integral of xt, x of t into e power minus j n omega naught t dt. So this is nothing but the coefficient of the exponential Fourier series component. Well, so while the exponential Fourier series, I can write this as will be what x of t is equal to, this x of t is equal to in terms of exponential Fourier series is equal to sigma of cn into e power j n omega naught t. Now we can as well or also we can represent the Fourier series as f of t is equal to the exponential Fourier series is equal to f of t is equal to sigma of fn capital Fn into e raised to j n omega naught t. This also we can able to write. That means you can represent x of t, f of t. If you represent with small f of t, you write here capital F. If you represent with x of t, okay, you can just simply any constant, it doesn't matter. You can just keep here as cn also, because it is nothing but a coefficient for us. Only for our understanding sake, we normally going to write it like with a coefficient parameter. So you can represent the same equation as y of t or f of t, okay, or any other variable with respect to time you can write, and you can just simply represent the exponential Fourier series like this. So after this, we try to solve. Already, I think we have solved one problem, and we try to go with another last variety in the Fourier series is going to be the even symmetry and odd symmetry functions. We deal with the last concept in the Fourier series. One is going to be the trigonometric Fourier series representation. Next one is going to be exponential Fourier series representation. And one more is going to be the wave symmetry. Now, what is the wave? What is the purpose of going for this wave symmetry? We have basically in the syllabus even symmetry and odd symmetry. And other parts are there for the ECE graduates. So therefore, you can just concentrate on the even symmetry and the odd symmetry, because we don't have much depth in the syllabus as far as signals and systems is concerned for you. So therefore, we just go with this particular wave symmetry. So in the previous problems, once you observed, we have got the sum of the parameters we have got as 0. See here, an is equal to 0 we have got in this. And in the other case also, see here also we have got an is equal to 0 in this problem. That means when the an or bn, which are nothing but coefficients of the sine and cosine functions, are zeros, why should we compute? That means we are wasting a lot of time in computing the values which are going to be zeros anyway. Anyway, if it is going to be zero, why should we waste our time? That means when nothing is asked in the exam, you can able to figure out by seeing the problem statement whether an could be 0 or bn could be 0 based on the even and odd symmetry. Now once you find out that the particular signal, given signal, is going to generate only even symmetry, then we consider bn is equal to 0. Even symmetry means what? Cos function. Odd symmetry means what? So obviously sine function. So therefore, if the function given is going to generate even symmetry, that means we are predicting the result beforehand. Before we solve the problem, we are predicting the result based on the even and odd symmetry. And we are computing only those components which are going to be definitely non-zero components. The components which are zero, we are not touching at all, just to save our time. Okay, these are all the varieties of problems based on the time, marks given. You have to choose in the examination hall. Okay, but you have to practice all these various expressions or equations, right? So we have, that's why we normally going to have the symmetry kind of a property. So what is the basic concept underlying in this wave symmetry? Some of the Fourier series coefficients, that's what I was talking about, a naught, a n, b n may become zeros, and calculation of remaining coefficients becomes simple if we know about the wave symmetry beforehand. That means before we solve for the various coefficients, if we know the values before, that means if we know about wave symmetry, we can reduce our time in calculating the various coefficients of the Fourier series. So if x of t is a periodic signal, then it can have the following wave symmetries. Obviously, Fourier series is applied or is applicable only to the periodic signals. That is what the important concept which you have to keep in mind. Now, so we have various types of symmetries, like even symmetry. Very popular is going to be even symmetry, odd symmetry, and half wave symmetry and quarter wave symmetry. So even and odd we have in the syllabus. So we focus on these two first, even and odd, importantly. So even symmetry means what? The sine component should become equal to 0. So that means the bn value, the coefficient of sine should come as 0. If the coefficient of sine is coming as 0, coefficient into 0 into anything is 0. So therefore, we simply going to avoid the sine component in this particular expression for even symmetry. Therefore, Bn becomes equal to 0. Only An and A0 are going to be evaluated in the case of the even symmetry. So even symmetry also can be called as a mirror symmetry. It is something like a mirror image, right? So we'll discuss about this even symmetry in terms of the waveform. The next one is going to be odd symmetry. It is also known as a rotation symmetry. Now, in the case of the odd symmetry means what? The signal is normally going to generate the odd harmonics, whereas even harmonics, that is an, is normally equal to 0 for us, and a0 is also going to be equal to 0. Only bn need to be evaluated for the rotational symmetry. So for half wave symmetry, a0 is equal to 0 and only odd harmonics are going to exist. For quarter wave, a0 is equal to 0 and either an or bn exists. That too only for odd values of n. That means here for quarter wave, we will be having the an as well as bn for odd values of the n. That means something like 1, 3, 5, all these are odd values. Only for odd values of this, we normally going to have the coefficients of the Fourier series. Okay. Now let us go somewhat into the expressions of the odd and even kind of a functions. So we know a function x of t is said to be an even function if x of t is equal to x of minus t. That means if a function is going to be an even function, what is the meaning of even function? Even if we normally go with a negative time axis, the function value remains same. The function value remains same. That is called the even symmetry. What about the odd symmetry? If you go with the negative side of the time period, the x of t is normally become equal to minus of that. So that means that's going to be a odd symmetry or odd function. So even function, odd function. That means something like minus 2 to the power of 2. What is that you get? You will be getting in terms of the even value. Minus 2 to the power of 1, minus 2 to the power of 3, you get a minus value only. Therefore, that is what the simple, that is a scalar representation and it is going to be a vector representation. So signal means we consider it as a vector. Therefore, very importantly, for an even function, x of t is equal to x of minus t. For a negative interval of time period, the signal amplitude is normally going to be same for the even symmetry. Now, what about for the odd symmetry, odd function? X of t is nothing but equal to minus of x of minus t. That means over the negative interval of the time period, the signal value is normally going to be opposite of the signal value x of t. All right, before we pass it through the odd symmetric system. Right. Therefore, I can write x of t as the combination of even parts and the odd part signals. Okay. So x of t is normally combination of even signals as well as odd signals. Therefore, to write the expression for even and odd signals separately, how can we write? Xe of t should become equal to x of t if the system is going to be only even system. If the system is going to produce only even signals, Xc of t should be equal to x of t. Now, when it becomes equal to like that, that means x of minus t becomes equal to x of t. So x of t is 2x of t. This 2 will get cancelled. Simply going to get x of t. So that this x of t becomes equal to xc of t, which is nothing but a even function. Similarly, odd function. Now, when you go with odd function, what is that I can have? X of t is equal to what I can write as minus x of minus t. So minus x of minus t, I can write this as. So I'll be having 2, I'll get cancelled. So I'll be simply going to get the same thing as x naught of t is equal to minus x of minus t, I'll get, which is nothing but the odd signal. So these two are the representations of exclusively even function and a odd function. representation in terms of the given signal. So Xe of t is the output even signal, X naught of t is the output odd signal, where X of t is the input signal, of course. So if you make such manipulations on the input signal, you normally going to get the even signal. Similarly, when you make this kind of manipulation, you normally going to get the output signal as the odd signal. So these two are the various representations of the even and odd signals. And one more point is something like even means what? It is going to be like a mirror image. If you stand in front of a mirror, what you see in the mirror? Only yourself. You see yourself in the mirror. So mirror is the image on the mirror is an even function. That means it is you only. But seen in a opposite window, seen in another window, opposite window, but the picture is going to be same. It is you only, your picture only you are seeing. That is called a even function. Okay. So similar to that is going to be this. To have a convenient form, we choose the interval of integration, that is minus t by 2 to plus t by 2 instead of from t naught to t naught plus t. So for an even function xe of t, what I can represent this as xe of t, I should find out finally for an even function or for an even symmetry. We consider limits as minus t by 2 to plus t by 2. If the function is even, minus t by 2 to 0, the shape of the signal is same as the signal shape from 0 to t by 2. That means the spectrum or a signal is going to be same over the two different intervals. So therefore I can write this equation as what now? Expand this as integral of minus t by 2 to 0 xe of t dt plus integral of 0 to plus t by 2. Lower limit, upper limit, I can expand like that. Okay. So therefore, I can just simply, it is going to be the same function once again. So therefore, I can just simply write this as 2 into integral of 0 to t by 2. I can consider only either one of the spectrum here. That means how is that I am simply doing it? Let us see. See, this is the even, if the signal is even signal, I can write this as equal to 2 into integral of 0 to t by 2. Here I have minus t by 2 to plus t by 2. Let us try looking about this. Yeah. So this is minus t by 2. Let us say this is 0. This point is going to be plus t by 2. See the waveform now. Before, after 0, what is the shape? This is the shape. As you proceed on the time axis, the value is decreasing exponentially. Similarly, on the negative side of the time period, when you proceed further in the negative time period, the value is decreasing. That means in either way, the signal is looking to be same. Therefore, the signal is going to be an even signal. If it is an even signal, I can represent this entire signal as something like this part plus this part. So therefore, I can write this as 0 to t by 2 as simply 2 into this function, this part, because same part is repeated no here. So therefore, I can write it something like that. Well, this is what I have written here for the even function. And similarly for the odd function, x naught of t is equal to, I can write as simply integration. If you do, I will be getting 0. Right. Now we have the formulas already for the Fourier series coefficients. An is equal to 2 by t integral of, now I will be writing this in terms of the even signals. Okay. So this one I can write as, how I can write this one as, an is equal to 2 by t is a constant, take it outside, integral of minus t by 2 plus t by 2 xc of t into cos n omega naught t plus x naught of t plus cos n omega naught t dt. That means here x of t is simply replaced with xc of t plus x naught of t. When you expand it, you get like this. Similarly for bn, we substitute x of t as xc of t and x naught of t, and we can write the expressions for an and bn something like this. So even symmetry or something like, mirror symmetry, I can say. So a function x of t is set to have even symmetry if, same thing I am writing here, if x of t is going to satisfy with x of minus t. Therefore, I can write this as odd function representation of signal is equal to 0 if the signal is going to be, see, either the signal is going to be even or signal is going to be odd. If the signal is even, the odd function is going to be 0. If the signal is odd really, even function is also going to be 0, vice versa. So therefore, I can just simply write this as x of t is equal to xe of t, and we know in even symmetry bn is equal to 0 because only cos components are going to exist. So we have to evaluate a naught and an only. So therefore, what is an I can have? An I can write as simply equal to 2 by t integral of minus t by 2 plus t by 2 xe of t cos n omega naught t dt. All right, I can write this. Now this same thing I can write as 2 into a naught is equal to 2 by t into 2 integral of 0 to plus t by t I can have, because it is even symmetry. The function is going to be same function. That means same curve is getting repeated. Same values are getting repeated. Therefore, it is going to be 2. So finally, I'll be having 4 by t integral of 0 to t by 2 x of t. So this is x of t cos n omega naught t I can have, or xe of t cos n omega naught t I can have. I am normally going to have. And next point is going to be a naught is equal to 2 by t integral of 0 to t by 2 x of t dt. This a naught is nothing but what? A naught is nothing but a DC component, which is due to both even and odd harmonic signals. So here we have concluded that Bn is equal to 0. So one of the harmonic component part of A naught has gone. So therefore this 2 is not multiplied here. This is a very important conclusion you have to keep in the mind. An you are multiplying with 2 by t. If you go for odd function, same story for Bn. But coming to A naught, you should be bit careful about E naught here. Now, how the function even signals looks like. This is what the representation of even signals. So to understand or to recognize it is an even or not, what you have to see now? You have to first of all see about the zero line. This is the zero line or a reference line. So with respect to reference line, you should have a same kind of a curve on either side of the zero vertical line. See this line now, zero line. We have here positive value, we have here positive value. Exactly same. Even though time period is changed, that means here x of t, here x of minus t. So the value is going to be same. Means what? X of t is equal to x of minus t here. All right. Similarly here also x of t is equal to x of minus t. Same thing here. The signal is simply decreasing as we move ahead in the positive t direction. Similarly, in the negative t direction. And same story here. Here is maximum amplitude. The signal is same. Now it is decreasing exponentially towards t. Same thing towards minus t. It is simply decreasing exponentially. So this is also going to be the even signal, even symmetry signal. Similarly, I am going to have one more variety here. See here, this is zero line. After zero, I am going to have a triangle. Before zero also, I am going to have a triangle, and it is simply getting repeated. Therefore, I can call it as a periodic signal. So periodic signal is normally going to get repeated its cycles continuously over the infinite time duration. That means if the same signal or the same spectrum is getting repeated continuously, then that type of signal is known as a periodic signal. So very important. Now let us do one small problem on this even symmetry kind of thing. So rest of the problems are given in the notes. You can just practice them, but for explanation sake, I am just going with a single problem. All rest of the problems are going to be similar to this particular concept. Now, in the exam is going to give us find the Fourier series expansion for the waveform shown below. So what he said, find the Fourier series expansion for the waveform shown below. So you have to find out actually an, a naught and bn. So here instead of finding out separately an, a naught and bn, first of all we will figure out whether it comes under even symmetry or odd symmetry. because once you conclude that, then our job becomes easy and it becomes faster. So first of all, we have to rush towards getting into that. So the above signal can be described as, how can I describe the above signal? See, this is a ramp. From 0 to pi, there is an increasing ramp. From pi to 2 pi, decreasing ramp. Okay. That means a ramp is increasing and ramp is decreasing. Now I'll be taking the limits as minus pi to plus pi. When I take minus pi to plus pi, I can divide this as minus pi to 0, 0 to plus pi. Are you understanding now? So I can write the mathematical equation for the signal representation for this waveform shown as, from minus pi to 0, there is a decreasing ramp. That means the slope should be negative slope here. Something like dy by dt, dy by dt, or d of x of t by dt into t I have to write. That's meant it's going to be in the form of the alpha t. So alpha is what now? Now I have here, this is 0 anyway. Therefore, I'm going to have a by maximum amplitude is going to be a. So a by what I can have now here, this particular time duration is pi. Okay, a by pi minus a by pi, because it is decreasing ramp, into t over the limits minus pi to t lies between minus pi to 0. Similarly, I can go with this particular thing now. Here, if you see, it is increasing ramp. Therefore, plus alpha t. Therefore, maximum amplitude is a by what is the component on the time axis? It is going to be 0 to pi. So pi minus 0 is pi. Same story now. A by pi t, which is going to be positive over the limit 0 to pi. So this is the signal representation of the given waveform. Okay, right. Now we have to first of all find out what type of signal it is. Just by seeing this itself, we can understand. After 0, what I have? Increasing. After 0, what I have? Increasing here. So it is going to be definitely even function. Pictorially, you can easily say by seeing it. Mathematically, to say, you should substitute x of minus t. So when you substitute t as minus t, these things are normally going to get reversed, and these limits are also going to get reversed. Therefore, we get a same signal as x of t once again. So therefore, we can say that it is going to be known as a even symmetry function. So since it is even symmetry function, what coefficients will be 0? Bn is normally definitely equal to 0. So straight away, directly, I can say Bn is equal to 0. Bn is equal to 0 because it is a even function. Because it is even function, I can consider directly Bn is equal to 0 without solving it. That is the advantage we're going to have. Then next, An is equal to trigonometric Fourier series equation. Using that trigonometric Fourier series equation, what is the coefficient of cos function? An is equal to 2 by t integral of minus t by 2 to plus t by 2 x of t cos n omega naught t dt. We can consider, we can consider now. So here, because it is an even function, I can replace this integral over the limits minus t by 2 to plus t by 2 to 2 into integral of 0 to t by 2. So 2 into 2 is 4. I'll be having this particular expression over here. Now, over the limits 0 to t by 2, it's something like, this is positive side of the time period, 0 to t by 2. What is it I have? A by pi into t I have. So I can just simply write a by pi into t cos n omega naught t. What is omega naught value? It is 2 pi by t. What is total t I have? It is pi minus of minus pi. It's going to be pi plus pi. It's going to be 2 pi. So I'll be having the time period under consideration of the signal is going to be 2 pi. Therefore, I'll be getting omega naught is equal to 1. In the interval, the starting point of the interval t naught is equal to minus pi, can have t naught plus t. Last limit of the integral is going to be, last limit on the interval is going to be pi here. So I can just have this kind of a interval limitations. Now simply you have to solve this. Omega naught is 1, so I can just simply write this here. T has to be there, cos nt has to be there. So it is normally in the form of what now? UV formula. Simply you have to apply the UV formula here once again to compute the values. So once we apply UV formula, just same as the previous thing, once you solve this formula, I'll be getting here an is equal to 2a by n square pi square cos n pi. So this is the equation I'll be having. Cos n pi is nothing but equal to minus 1 to the power n. So for odd values of n, that is 1, 3, 5, all these are the odd values of n. So I'll be having here as this equation as what now? 2a by n square pi square for odd values of n. So 2 into this is going to be what now? Minus 1, minus 1, that is minus 2. 2 into 2, 4, minus 4a by n square pi square. If n is even, it becomes plus 1. So plus 1 minus 1 will get cancelled. I'll be having 0 here. So these are the coefficients which we can have. And finally, the DC component a naught is equal to 2 by t integral of 0 to t by 2. I can write. Here I have not multiplied with 2 into integral of 0 to t by 2. Why? Because it is a DC component. In DC component, we will be usually going to have the odd and even symmetry components. So since odd is anyway 0, that part is not that part is not going to come into this particular a naught. Therefore, that is not really included here. Then after this, rest of the story is same. X of t is equal to a by pi t. So integral of t is t square by 2. So finally, we'll be having a by 2. So this is what we normally going to take. So if you mistakenly or forgottenly going to write this integral 0 to t by 2, integral of minus t by 2 to plus t by 2 as 2 into integral of 0 to t by 2, then what will happen now? I'll simply going to get a only here. So the answer is going to become little bit wrong here. Therefore, you should be careful. You're going to lose 1 or 2 marks for this. Some people will cut 1, some people will cut 2 marks. So therefore, you should be careful about this a naught here. That's it. And rest of the problems you can do very easily because similar grounds we normally going to go ahead. Now I'll just explain about how to represent this particular signal mathematically. So mathematically we'll be simply taking the uh, limits as minus t by 2, something like minus t by 2 to plus t by 2. So in between I have minus t by 4, 0, all these things I have. So from minus t by 2 to minus t by 4, what is the value of the signal? 0. Therefore I'm putting 0. Then from minus t by 4 to 0, what is the value I have? A I have. So therefore I'm putting A. Then between t by 4 to plus t by 4 to plus t by 2, it's going to be once again 0. There is no value of the signal. So I can just put here as 0. So the equation is going to exist for this signal only along the time period minus t by 4 to plus t by 4. And the signal is getting repeated because it is a periodic signal. Just simply same procedure we apply to find out the entire Fourier series. Then last one is going to be the odd symmetry or a rotation symmetry kind of case notation now. So x of t I can write as equal to minus x of minus t I can write because it is an odd function. So therefore, in an odd function, the even component of the function will be equal to 0. Therefore, xc of t should be equal to 0 100%. Therefore, I can write x of t is nothing but approximated to x naught of t. So in odd symmetry, an is equal to 0 and also a naught equal to 0. So we evaluate only for bn. See, two coefficients got simply made equal to 0 directly. How much time is saving in the exam? A lot of time is getting saved in the examination hall whenever we normally going to solve it in a quicker time. because finally anyway we have to write the overall Fourier series equation. To write the Fourier series equation, we want a naught, an and bn. That's all. So once we have them, we can write it very easily. So only in 3 steps we are solving this particular problem here. All right. So therefore, I can write this as bn is equal to 2 by t integral of minus t by 2 to plus t by 2 x of t into sine omega naught t dt, because it is going to be an odd function. Well, so I can write this as same as the previous one, 2 by t. I can just replace this integral of minus t by 2 to plus t by 2 as 2 into this factor. Okay, similar to the previous one. So therefore, I can just have this kind of an expansion. That means what? Now we'll see some of the examples of the waveforms, how it looks like for the odd symmetry. That means by seeing the waveform, you can figure out whether it comes under even symmetry or an odd symmetry. When nothing is asked in the exam, use only by using, if he says in the exam by using trigonometric Fourier series, then you have to go with the very beginning case, standard case. You have to simply solve with all of them. Even though we get a and 0 or b and 0, a not 0, you have to simply solve for everything. Nothing has been asked. Simply he said that obtain the Fourier series for the waveform shown below. So in that case, you can just simply apply this even symmetry, odd symmetry on the signal, and figure out whether it comes under even symmetry and odd symmetry, and accordingly we eliminate the respective components and find out only the required components. And after that, simply represent the entire signal in terms of the exponential, in terms of the Fourier series, of course. Now, let us look into this odd symmetry now. So before this zero line, we have high in the amplitude, that means positive value. After 0, we have positive value. Before 0, what we have? Negative side. Similarly here, after 0, I have increasing positively. Before 0, it is decrease. It is simply increasing in negative direction. Exactly reverse is happening here. So here, if you see, it is a ramp signal, linearly varying ramp signal going from the center of the origin. So after 0, it is increasing in the positive direction. Before 0, it is increasing in the negative direction. So it's going to be, therefore it is going to be called as odd symmetry, even, sorry, odd symmetry, not even symmetry. Similarly, the same kind has been shown over here. Now, obtain the Fourier series for the waveform shown below. Same waveform has been shown here. And the time limits are taken as what now? Minus t by 2, 0 plus t by 2. That's it. Same kind of a thing over here. We have to compute for, we have discovered that it is going to be an odd symmetry. So before that, we should write the expression for x of t. So x of t is equal to what I can have? You can consider only 0 to t by 2 time period, or 0 to minus t by 2 time period, because it is the same thing but inverted. The waveform shape is almost say is all same but inverted. So therefore I can as well consider either one of these two to get the overall result, overall expression. So I can write this, if you consider this as something like the half wave here, then I can write this amplitude is going to be A. So this is a dy component, differential in the y quadrant is going to be this A. Differential in the x quadrant is going to be what now? T by 2 minus 0 is going to be t by 2, of course, into t. So therefore x of t is equal to what I can have? 2a by t I can write. All right. So this function is existing over the limits minus t by 2 to plus t by 2. So the waveform has odd symmetry because it is satisfying the condition x of t is equal to minus of x of minus t. So if you substitute t as minus t, what I can get now? This t becomes equal to minus t. So therefore I'll be having minus value. So you should get minus value here, right? So it's simply satisfying the odd symmetry. Now just simply you have to compute the expression for bn here. So as usual with the previous case, we can have here as 2 by t into 2 into integral of 0 to t by 2. 2 into 2 becomes 4 x of t sine n omega naught t dt. So simply we simply solve this by a similar method. Now uv formula I have, using uv formula we simply solve this particular expression, and finally you know all this trigonometric relationships. Sine n pi is normally equal to 0 component, so I just going to have here as pn. Okay, by simply eliminating all these components, t by 2, t by 2 will get cancelled, 4 goes 2 times here, and finally I'll be having this equation, right? So I can have bn is equal to what, 2a by n pi minus 1 to the power n plus 1. So this is the Fourier series representation of the signal. Okay, so what is the entire Fourier series, Fourier trigonometric Fourier series representation now? This is a trigonometric Fourier series representation. Now by seeing the signal waveform we can say that it is going to be an odd function, therefore we are going to have only bn component. an and a naught are not computed, they are directly made equal to 0, and finally I'll be getting the expression for the trigonometric Fourier series. So this is what we have, and you just try to solve this problem as a homework by yourself, or symmetry problem, and one more even symmetry problem, you solve this as a homework, right? And one more problem I told you to solve is going to be this one. Here expression is given to us, signal equation has been given to us. From this you have to find out the respective Fourier series representation of that particular signal. Okay, so we'll stop here for today's session. In the next session we start with the Fourier transforms, which is also going to be a very important topic for us. Okay, same as Fourier series, we normally going to have the Fourier transforms. So before we get into Fourier transforms, we end up the Fourier series with the Dirichlet conditions. Okay, thank you very much for the today's session. Please practice these particular problems, because all these problems whatever we are explaining here is going to be based on the previous question papers. Therefore it is going to be quite common that these questions are always going to be expected questions in the exam. So please practice these problems. Okay.